I don't know how it still goes on. I don't know how they're still just evil Nazi men that don't have feelings for people or consideration or empathy or. But anyway, still poisoning babies, still making new poisons, still. Basically, like all medications poison. Nowadays, it seems like purposely. But the baby vaccinations are just there to poison your baby's brain. Your government did 9/11. They haven't disbanded or anything. They moved on to do COVID to mask 5G EMF poisoning. They did that so they could map your brain with AI. The Israeli concert attack was a hoax. They did that to get genocide. That's how they constantly work. No different than if I said, hey dude, your neighbor over here just attacked your wife, go get her. Go get them. That's anyway. So your government's bioterrorists. They poison babies, they poison the sky, they poison food. It's always neurotoxins, so it always is about damaging your brain so you can't think, so you're tired. They spray chemicals in the sky, like they're so plotting that they ran the global climate change hoax. The sun drives the climate, but they had to make it man-made and they had to make it an issue because like 1 degree warmer would have killed us all. They had to make it an issue so they'd have an excuse to spray us with neurotoxins. They're poisoning babies, they're poisoning water, they're poisoning food. I'm so stressed I can't quit poisoning myself. Every day, all day. Insane. Like they're actual evil, malicious people. Like Hitler actually had people that live dissected people to do science. Now we've got the modern version. Oh, if we put a tower on the corner, then we can read their minds and plant thoughts. And it's weird woo-woo, voodoo, witchy, spiritual stuff, and it's real. And when you see them, they get the crooked smile. Like the psychotic, weird, something else is home in their brain smile. And this is reality. Somehow that's reality. Somehow bioterrorists run the United States and NATO. Like somehow they're just so special. Like that's their ethos, is they're the special elite people and they get to destroy your lives because you're a dumb sheep or whatever and you need them to tell you what's what. They take all the honesty, all the honest, good, hard work of everybody on the planet. They claim credit for it. They say, I don't know, we organized a shipment to China. That means that, what would you do without us? There was never a businessman who didn't poison babies. I'm pretty sure there were. They're like literal criminals. It's just like, it's so big that people skip by it. It's not, you know, if you saw a murder happening in front of you, you do something or you report it. But you see the government and you think, oh, well, the FBI would do something, the CIA would do something. Like they're all in their special club of witchcraft. Whatever it is. Their special club of lying. Their special club of saying, that's ridiculous, it's not baby poison. See, it worked again. We're special people. They bought it again. Again, it's no different than walking into a room that people are talking about the Mets or something, and then you say, how's the weather? And everyone starts talking about the weather, and they're like, see our magical power. Nobody was about killing Iraqis. We did 9/11, now they're all about killing Iraqis. See, we're gods. And that's reality. That's the world we live in. Crazy, crazy. I don't know what to do with it. But if you talk about it, if you pay attention, if you say, hey, wait a minute, that's a neurological toxin. A neurological toxin damages my nervous system. And my nervous system is my brain and my motor coordination. Why are you putting a neurotoxin into my body by jabbing my baby with it, or by spraying it in the air, or altering DNA, the stuff that makes your life not have, a giant tumor on your face? Like, that's altered DNA. Altered DNA is, one man's taller than another. They're just changing it willy-nilly. They're like, yeah, we'll play with this. We'll give them spike proteins and play with their DNA. That's their immune system. And everyone gets sicker, and it's science for evil. It's technology for evil. It's above a pay grade of, nobody would ever do that. So once you're in that pay grade of you do that, and then they can assassinate anyone they please. Anyone who exposes it, they do the special ritual gang stalking. And they come out as an army. Like, if you notice them, they come out as an army. When I noticed them, they came out as an army. Gang stalking license plates. And again, I'm not crazy. When I say gang stalking license plates, it was 8 times out of 10. It was 5 times in a row. And then I started recording when I was leaving Stop and Shop. But then I stopped recording, so it wound up being 8 times out of 10. When I pulled out of Stop and Shop, I pulled directly behind a vanity plate. Vanity plates are like 1 in 50 out here, so that's a 1 in 900 billion chance of that happening. That's like, I don't know what, 2,000 times harder, 3,000 times harder than winning the lottery. And they do that all day. I got this corner over here that I walk by every day, and it's I don't know if it was I don't know, there were 2 vanity plates there in the last 2 days when I walked by, out of the 4 cars that have been there. It's their gang stalking. That's when it started. I got into a fight with my cousin's roommate in California, and I said one of those stupid things you say in an argument. I don't even remember what it was, but the next day, like a very stupid specific thing, the next day a kid walks by me in the supermarket behind me and says the exact same thing I just said. Like, that's their hoodoo technique. That's their, you are watched, we are surrounded you. Surrender now or we'll continue to torture you. That's their brainwashing. That's their Stockholm syndrome. That's the, we're the only ones who pay attention. Be our friend. So it works on a human level, and I'm sure for them it works on a human level too. We're like, oh, all I know is my fellow bioterrorists, so we just torture some brown people. It's not really a big deal. They're Muslims, and who cares? Again, Bush did 9/11, and then they ran a torture program after 9/11. Like, they were aware that they were the culprits. And, normally, like, when you feel guilty about something, you're just like, shouldn't have done that. When they feel guilty about something, they're like, well, then we'll torture him, and everyone will. Making people bloodthirsty, ruining people's days, making people more prone to violence. It's, again, with the neurotoxins. If you take a look at rabies, it attacks your nervous system. It causes neurodegeneration. It makes you irritable. It makes you, have a bad day. There was a neurologist. His grandson is on YouTube talking about his grandson just up and hit a kid with a hammer in elementary school, like really hurt the kid, like an 8-year-old or something. And they were gonna put him on all kinds of drugs, but he said, "Wait, can you do a brain scan first?" And the kid had a giant tumor pressing up against, so it was just swelling his brain. So he's just like in pain, where you normally like, I would never do that. I would feel bad. Like, you're just in pain. That's what they do with, for 9/11, like a much simpler, put you in pain. They attacked us. Let's get them. I'm going to defend myself and my country. But they did 9/11. Like, happiness and good days should roll into happiness and good days, but they make sure it's a shitty day every day with their fake news, with their bioterrorism, with their trillions of dollars that could go to fixing roads or making the air cleaner or making water cleaner. Instead, they put it towards making water more poisonous or making the air poisonous with their chemtrails. It's so big in scope that you can't believe it. Oof. Same as you're a Polish villager in 1939, never heard of anything Hitler was doing because you had no TV or radio, and then one day 50 tanks rolled into your town. Wow, someone's been preparing this for 5 years. They've been getting ready to attack me, and now they're just killing everybody. Like, that's literally what your government's doing, only on a much more technological scale, a much more subtle scale. And it's all day, every day. I don't know how they have I don't know what happens with scientists. I mean, like, super brilliant people are not always common, so I'm sure a lot of scientists are like, no, I've been told, and this is the settled science. But oh yeah, but when people do break through, they wind up dead very often. And they control all media, so there's plenty of people just having little pulpits of trying to post on Facebook or something, but nobody's listening because the media all day long says, no, it's not so. So I don't know. I don't know what to do with any of it. But like the 8 vaccination scientists who were flying to Brazil, and the plane crashed in Brazil, just happened to have the 8 vaccination scientists. There's only like 600 people who die every year in plane crashes out of 7 billion people on the planet. Just happened to be the 8 vaccination scientists who were going to a conference to talk about how bad, they had the dirt, and they were going to share it with, like, they were the super brilliant scientists. They were going to share it with brilliant scientists. And then brilliant people are much more likely to think about, wow, that could get me killed. I'm not going to say anything. I've worked my life hard to have a nice life, and I'm not going to say anything. And that's your government. Again, there's no elections in the US. It's just they select who they think, and they play a game where everybody can see there's problems. So it must be the other team's fault, and next year we'll have a new guy from the other team and it'll be all better. And then they go on and do their same things. Obama ran on leaving Iraq, continued Bush's war for 8 years. Trump chanted lock her up, called her the greatest the day after he won the election. A month before he won the election, Chelsea, New York got bombed. Chelsea is Hillary Clinton's daughter's name. That's your government. That's what they do. If you're not sure where your government lives, there's the guy that rammed my car's house. There's my house over there. This guy just moved in, rammed my car. They gang stalk me in video games, which should be a minor complaint, but it's the only way I relax and unwind and be myself. My other new neighbor, I was complaining that they were making World of Warcraft 3v3s into 5v1s. They were stacking both teams to make me lose. I walked by my other new neighbor's house at 1 a.m. He says to the air, "You enjoying the 5v1? That's gang stalking. I got it all day. I cost taxpayers at least $50 million in all the effort they've put into destroying my life. So yeah, so this is somehow reality. Again, with the gang stalk house. He's got all his fancy toys. He's got a cool roadster car and shit, and it was the day after I joked to my friend because his car died. I was like, you should get a Tesla. But I was joking because I think Teslas are ridiculous. The next day, he had a Tesla in his driveway, Mr. 5v1 over here. Well, gang stalking goes like this. Scrolling through Facebook one day, and I stopped to read 10 ancient Sanskrit laws, is what the post was. I go for a walk like an hour later. There's a guy on the phone. Hey, Sanskrit. Like right when I walk by him, he shouts Sanskrit into the phone. Not all of them are very... But anyway, they try and make it woo witchy and evil spiritual. I don't know, Navajo skinwalker stuff, or Christian unclean spirits, or Judaism sins of Egypt. Who knows? But us there. Earth's there, and it's your government, and they poison your babies, and poison the water, and poison the sky. And I don't really care about their economic greed as much. I think it's filthy and wrong, but things have got to run somehow. But the murdering people wantonly. So anyway, that's the special evil people who rule the planet. They run media, like they own all media. That's why you see the clips of like them just parroting everything on every news station. Like you have the impression that like, oh, there's a journalist organization there and a journalist organization there, and they investigate things. Like that just does not happen. Like speaking of scientists and journalists, I know I'm on repeat here, but freaking it was a YouTube independent journalist who was researching the dangers of all kinds of foods. And there was a margarine researcher. And he stopped doing his research. So she got in touch with him and said, hey, how come you stopped looking into margarine? He said, I got a phone call one day. Like, the implication's obvious. If it's not obvious to you, the phone call was probably like, your son Billy looked pretty handsome at softball practice today. I don't know, boys don't play softball. Whatever. What do you want from me? But you know what I'm saying. That's your government. I had Bill Cooper 2 months before 9/11 on his radio show. You can find it on YouTube. Said, if anything happens in the coming months that they blame on Osama bin Laden, don't you believe it? 2 months later, 9/11 happened. They blamed it on Osama bin Laden. 2 months after that, Bill Cooper was shot dead on his front lawn by feds. Hey, that's your government. Terrence Hickey, one of the first cops into the Oklahoma City bombing. He, whatchamacallit? He said he didn't like what he saw, so he started investigating on his own. A year later, he told his family that men were following him and he's scared for his life. So what do you do when you're scared for your life? You commit suicide. Like, that's not what you do when you're scared for your life. You're trying to cling to life when you're... So anyway, he committed suicide by slashing his forearms 12 times, slashing his jugular vein, running half a mile across a field, over a fence, and then shot himself in the head at a 45-degree downward angle. And there was no gun found at the murder scene, and he had handcuff marks on his wrists. So Terrence was built like a NFL linebacker, and I'm sure they took the cuffs off before they were going to kill him. They didn't want blood splatter on there would have been a blood splatter mark on his wrist or something with the cuffs. And be like, hey, this guy was wearing handcuffs when he was shot. So they took off the cuffs, and I guess he fought back. Sadly, doesn't end like a Hollywood movie. So that's the CIA, that's the FBI, that's the NSA, that's I was walking by the block party over there the other day with the other new neighbors. And somebody said to the air, why does he say the FBI? I don't know, officer. Why, when somebody's raping somebody in front of you, do you say that cop is supposed to do something? Hey. But they've got them all buried in blackmail and buried in, I can't say anything, I took the Freemason oath, or I can't say anything, I was involved in 9/11, they'll come for me, or I can't say anything, my family will be at risk. I'm sure it's stuff like that. So yeah. So that's your government. That's planet biotourism with the 5G mind control towers. I was one of the first kids with a 5G tower on my block. They really wanted to be up in my brain. Again, I have the video on my YouTube channel of craziness, but they cook my brain and I get hot-headed and I smoke a lot of weed. But anyway, I have a video on my YouTube channel of, I thought to myself, like 4 years ago or so, at least I ghost them. Ghost is a video game term for like once you're already dead and you're moving around the map and you tell your teammates where the enemy team is. So I thought to myself, at least I ghost them. And then the next day in traffic, guy cuts me off in traffic, so I have to stop my car back here. And where I stopped my car, there was a pole with an 89 on it, and the guy's license plate was Ghost. So the guy's license plate was Ghost 809. Hey, they triangulated my position and vectored, and that's something your government does. Like, that's if you talk about your government's war crimes or poisoning babies or making everyone sick or doing 9/11, or there's a chance you might get gang stalked. But if everybody talks about it, they can't gang stalk everybody. All of these things are meant to be for people's good lives and happiness. That's why people go to work, and you guys are ruining happiness, ruining fun, ruining trust, ruining tomorrow will be a good day because yesterday was a good day, and you guys are 20 children were shot in a school shooting. Should we say 20? No, let's make it 30 this time. Okay, 30 kids were shot in a school shooting. Ha, you're very clever, Bob. That's why I'm a good triangle finger man. Like, that's your government. Again, just on repeat, but in 2013, the U.S. Congress, who doesn't like to go to work, who doesn't like to get out of bed and legislate, decided to repeal a 70-year-old ban. 70-year-old ban against domestic propaganda that was in the Smith-Mundt Act. So domestic propaganda means faking news inside the United States, lying publicly inside the United States. They repealed a ban against domestic propaganda. And after that, televised school shootings went up from 6 from Kent State until Sandy Hook. So like 6, around about 6. I don't know, maybe I missed one or counting one extra, but anyway, it went up to, like, they were doing 3 a week sometimes. It went up to around the 150 school shootings a year, televised school shootings a year. So that's their private army. Like, that's, now there's people on a payroll. Now I need you to do a thing. We're gonna do a thing? Okay, we don't talk about this thing of ours. So they did a thing, and then they build pockets of corruption. Those guys later become Congress people. Those guys later become judges, and they're in the special club and don't say anything. Again, I don't know why they marked my life so hard, but the dude that laid low in my family before they started attacking me, he came into my family when I was 10 years old. He wanted to teach me how to cheat at Clue. He wanted to show me Lust in the Dust when I was a kid. Oh, you're babysitting for your mom today. We're gonna watch Lust in the Dust. So anyway, that guy, when this all started, I was pissed as fuck. And he's like, oh, he finally gets it. That's what he said. He's like, he finally gets it? Does that mean I'm getting a house like this? And he pointed to a mansion. I don't know. He's my special Freemason handler. He offered me sex with his child. Who was an adult child, but still my family member. You can have my son if you want. And I was getting attacked, and I was like, your son's 120 pounds wet. He's not good in combat. What are you talking about? It took me many years to figure out what he was talking about. A vast hidden army of evil people, and they took over all governments. They took over all of NATO. They took over China as well. they fail upwards, you know. It's like, oh, you won't do that? Good, you're a good standing member of Freemasonry. I'm so glad you passed a test and you wouldn't do that. And then you say, yes, I will torture this puppy dog. And they say, oh, good, okay, now you're ready to learn our secrets. Or something like that. I speculate, but I'm sure it's something like that. They fail people upwards. People who are doing evil shit, they promote it. So anyway, this is the stuff that ruins my day and makes me into a bitter person. The brain cooking and the torture and the, hey, you just looked at the children at play sign over there? Okay, go play some video games. My name is just children at play in this video game. I don't know, this man's a crazy person. And that's the purpose of the gang stalking, is to make you lash out or make you commit suicide. Again, with Bill Cooper, the guy that predicted 9/11 2 months before it happened. He was a Navy vet. He's 58 years old, like well-established guy, had a radio show. I'm sure he never had a charge in his life, but the reason the feds were on his front lawn was because he got an assault charge all of a sudden, and I'm sure it was something gang stalking related. Hey, your wife looked pretty in that pink negligee last night in a supermarket, and he knocked them out or something. So they had their warrant, they had their reason to go to his house and shoot him dead on his front lawn, because he was spreading 9/11 truth. Hey. So anyway, that's life. That's as far as I can get to the truth over here. Crazy people with evil demon brain bugs doing crazy evil things. Like, you can always see the twisted smile. They call it duping delight, but like, you probably, I know, I felt it, like when you're a kid and like you did something you should have and you tell your mom, no, I didn't. It's that and they've got it, you know, normal people will get that look about, I was on time today at work. They'll get it about, what do you mean we bioweapon attacked the planet? It was crazy. Crazy conspiracy theorist. So anyway, that's the bioterrorism, that's the us, the demon multiplier stuff. Hey, I can't deal with the wrath of God stuff, but it may well be a direct correlation to the Jesus stuff of be sober and vigilant, for your enemy the devil looks, what's he say, roams around looking for who he might devour. So you got to be sober and vigilant, otherwise you might fall into a trap, is his idea. And whatchamacallit, and they poison your baby's brains at birth. So, you know, Mom, for some reason I feel like I want to cut my penis off. And Mom's been all day on the, so she's like, okay, sweetheart. Since they're one club, since they do their problem reaction news cycle, their problem reaction solution news cycle, like Trump dialing back the trans stuff, like their club made transgender issues an issue in the 2016 election, so nobody would talk about geopolitics, about war, about infrastructure, about things that they could get caught and busted on. Instead, we'd argue about the very visceral, oh, there's a man that's gonna pee next to my 4-year-old in the bathroom. So their club made that an issue, and then their club has Trump fix the issue, and people are like, oh, look at Trump is a good guy. Trump fake getting shot in the air, and he's not on your side. He's for club special people. So anyway, I'm still trying to figure out how we live in a universe and we're civil talking people, and and there's men who commit genocide as a convenience so that they can look good, or men who fake an Israeli, like the Israeli concert hoax, 7.5 hours long. Like their whole military should be fired, same as our military on 9/11. They're defending a 36-mile border. They have the world's 18th strongest military, and like what the IDF soldier pointed out, like the biggest surveillance state on the planet. Like there's IDF soldiers who say they can spot a cockroach that crosses the border. So they're defending a 36-mile border. They've got a 165,000 man army, and ISIS flew in flying mopeds. So they would have landed, would have been someone on their cell phone, help, they're attacking. 7.5 hours later, they escaped in golf carts. Like that's just like, that's the demonic stuff. That's the like having a laugh. That's like, don't you think that's funny? So that's how that goes. But like the IDF soldier said, now Israel's asking for America's aid. And he's like, America's aid? Their tanks are pickup trucks. Their air force is mopeds. And Israel has a 7% gun ownership rate. They've got assault rifle armed police, so it's not just a 165,000 man army that could have mobilized 40,000 people inside of 7.5 hours easily. Because again, a 36-mile border. If you've got an attack helicopter, you're there in 5 minutes. If you've got a jet, you're there in 2 minutes. But they have their illusion. They have their, but we own banks and we own businesses. We provide for you. We can slaughter you as we please. Well, special men. So yeah, so that's all that. They poison the babies, they poison the sky, they poison the food, they poison the medication. They bribe scientists and blackmail scientists and give scientists death threats and assassinate scientists. They do things like after I found out about all the shit they were doing, I got on YouTube, started looking at stuff, and after every 9/11 truth video, it would be up next, flat earth. So they ran flat earth as disinformation so that you would associate in your mind, oh, I don't believe in conspiracies. That's that crazy flat earth stuff. Those people are ridiculous. Like they only had to catch, that's how their news works every day when they do Democrats and Republicans. Is like, oh, look at the crazy Democrats with the pussy hats. Like 90% of Democrats are your neighbors in a nice house, making sure that their pool's clean. But they show the lunatic fringe. So, so yeah. So where was I going with that? I don't even know. I lost my train of thought. But that's your government. Nobody could protect you like they do, because once you accept the mafia's protection, you're super protected. You just gotta accept that they assassinate people and murder people so that they can keep their business running. You gotta accept that they rig elections so that nobody can ever challenge them. You gotta accept that things like a limited hangout. Oh yeah, sorry, that's where I was going with the whatchamacallit? Yeah. I was skipping my mind again, Jesus Christ. Anyway, limited hangout is the P. Diddy stuff. Like, oh, they want the Epstein files. Okay, make them think that we're on the case about sex trafficking. Okay, we'll go after Diddy. Okay, we found no evidence. Okay, Diddy, go home. Okay, all club members, see how safe you are. If you're a club member, we protect you. That's why I'm sure Epstein is living. Otherwise, the pedophiles might choose life over pedophilia conviction. Hey, I found a working lighter. Life is good. So anyway. Oh yeah, the lunatic fringe. They did the PSYOP, the make you think flat earth stuff after 9/11 truth videos. So like 1 or 2 out of 100 people who just learned the government did 9/11, their brain is fucking fried. They're like, what the fuck? It's like been the seminal moment of their life, and they're just reeling. And they're like, oh my god, the earth is flat too, I gotta tell everybody. Hey. And then they build their insanity by association. You're 9/11 truthers? Those are the flat earth people. That's crazy. David Muir just said it on the news with much gravitas, and I trust people with deep voices. That's their club. That's their witchy way. Deny, deny, deny. Pretend it doesn't exist. Pretend people are cattle and they can slaughter them as they please. Hey. So this is your government. This is the United States of terrorism. This is NATO. Again, they own all of NATO. Like, they're all working off this voodoo, witchcraft, weird spiritual system. Hey. I like to think sometimes I can get what the Bible's talking about with the for to Egypt, every shepherd is an abomination. Like, oh wait, you're living off the land and you got your own thing? No, you work for us. How dare it not work for us? So anyway, that's about all I got. I go in circles with this stuff. This is the evidence I have. It used to be, I had a playlist. There was a playlist of PK truth videos and other conspiracy videos. It had like 260 videos on it. And like a year later, it had like 8 videos left. Like all the rest have been deleted, censored. You don't see it happening unless it's happening to you. Like I've had, like just typing stuff like this into comments on YouTube, I've gotten like 20 hate speech strikes. Like, has there been a drop of racism in my voice? But that's what I get, is the hate speech strikes, and lost my first YouTube channel for talking about COVID. But again, what I'm trying to say is there were miles of evidence. There were, before they started to get caught, before people started to notice and share videos of like, this is impossible. This car went down the street once. This person's standing here fine, the car's already passed, there's a victim on the ground bleeding, and then in the next video, this guy's on the ground bleeding too. Like, that can't happen. The car went down the street once in the terrorist attack. That's got to be deleted from YouTube. That's got to be shoved to the bottom of the algorithm and shadow banned and censored. And so they got people letting their kids die for free speech, and then they kill anybody who speaks too freely about their crimes. It's an amazing, it's something. It's an amazing thing. But anyway, that's about all I got. I got a new thing on Facebook where if I put a hyperlink, it no longer makes a hyperlink, even though other people can make hyperlinks. And I've got the other new thing on Facebook where I can't put a page break, and that drifted to Quora too on my computer. So like, if you're reading something that's just a wall of text, like, you stop reading. If you're reading something that has nice paragraph breaks, you're like, oh, I'll read this. This sounds informative. They do weird, subtle, high IQ, evil things like that to protect themselves. I keep thinking they're going to go home. I keep thinking they're going to get it. I keep thinking they're like, all right, you're caught. You guys need to stop. But they push on and push on. Hey. They're too big to fail, or too dumb to do something else, or too evil, or too warped, or have no feelings, or again, maybe it's not at all their fault. They were poisoned at birth. But I don't know if they give their kids a baby poison. They probably do. It's probably like a Lucifer dare or something like that. Yeah, we give ourselves a shot too. We're tough. We've got the triangle finger power, so then something else can control their brain, and you can destroy more life, and blah, 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 and all that happens. So yeah, so I don't know what to do about any of it. I just figure if I complain enough, like, they'd stop. But I figure if you complain enough, people notice, people pay attention to their own health, to other people's health, they'll realize, wait a minute, all of a sudden this sweetener showed up in every single food, and 1 in 4 people have herpes, and this makes herpes worse, and herpes attacks your brain. And they put this in everybody's food, and it's a carcinogen. Wait a minute, that's not healthier than sugar. Hey, the weird science they bury, the science they get like exactly wrong. Their SALT study, where they compared people from like New York to African tribesmen and Brazilian tribesmen who were like running, I need to eat a plant. And they said, oh look, the salt is causing heart failure. But it wasn't. It was just a poorly done science, and it was wrong for 60 years, and people still believe it. Same thing with fat for heart attacks. The fat is there like a scab after the fact of cell wall damage in your veins and arteries. But when they first showed up, they took a look at it and they said, hey, the heart attack victims always have this fat around. The fat is causing heart attacks. Don't eat fat, eat this processed shit instead. And the processed shit causes gut health problems, the processed shit causes more problems, everybody's run down, everybody's like, I can't think about this stuff, man, this is too deep, I don't care about my family. And they make life worse for everyone. And I don't know how to fix it, because they're standing in the way of life should be good for everyone, but kind of ruin their lives to have them all caught. But I feel bad, but I don't know what to do about it. I don't know what to do about it. Slaughter babies every day, slaughter people every day, exploit people every day, exploitive labor, exploitive military service, exploitive, make sure they poison the military extra with vaccinations. People come back with weird, lifelong debilitating. Pat Tillman, NFL superstar, like salt of the earth, superhero guy, Pro Bowl linebacker. After 9/11 joined up, super patriot. Found himself guarding poppy fields in Afghanistan as special forces, and he said to his unit, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna quit the military and go home and start an anti-war movement. And a guy like that, like, he's already a hero, he's already had fame, he'd have a pulpit instantly. So a day or two later, I forget, he got shot from 10 yards away by a fellow Army Ranger. Like, those guys are good. Those guys don't fuck up like that often, especially 10 yards away. They shot him in the forehead. Like, he wouldn't have even looked like an Iraqi. He would have been like, like he would have been unmistakable on a battlefield. Unmistakable in your unit. Is that a skinny? Nope, that's a fucking giant. that's a tree trunk over there. So yeah. So that's your government. That's the genocidal, homicidal. Nobody can catch us. We own the CIA. We own the FBI. We have bunkers to hide. Crazy. Hey. I miss good life. I want to live a good life for the rest of my life. They've been torturing me for 16 years. They've been ramming my car and cooking my brain and making me nearly pass out. I've got their total denial, brain poison from mercury fillings, stuff like that. Again, the mercury fillings, that's a fun one. The term quack is derived from, that's what the dentists who wanted to put mercury fillings in people in the 1800s, they called them quacks, because everybody knew that mercury was like a massive brain poison. They're like, you're going to put that in people's teeth? And they let that go. The science was there, but they just ignored it, did other science, lied about other shit, and it took like a solid 50 years of people being obvious about it and understanding it to freaking get on top of it. Europe banned it like 20 years ago or whatever, and the US is like slowly banning it. But like, I had an argument with my dentist. I'm a schlub, but I pay attention. I had an argument with my dentist when he wanted to put a mercury filling in, and he's like, it's parts per million. But yeah, there's like 9 trillion parts, and your body's acting like a filter because your body grabs that chemical, and that heavy metal and latches onto it, puts it into your nervous system. Like a parts per million doesn't matter if your body's got a filtering system that grabs those 3 parts per million and then the next 3 parts per million and the next 3 parts per million. Because when you're talking about water or something, there's like, what is it, 600 billion molecules in 1 drop of water. So it's not, you're getting 3 parts per million, don't worry. It's in 1 single drop, there's, I don't know, 5,000 parts. Who knows? I can't do math right now. But yeah, this is science is special, bought out, paid for. Evil be winning. I got nothing for it. I just liked waking up to happy days and being like, oh, there's trustworthy people saying trustworthy stuff, and I think they're stupid, but I don't care. Now there's maliciously evil people who don't have their own brains and operating for agendas and doing evil stuff on purpose. And few people care. Oh, yeah. Like if we deposed all the US government, all Congress, all of NATO and other countries, and went into local mayorships, said, hey, you know how to run like anybody would be a better president. Like a manager at a Walmart would be a better president than I know how to kill people, especially. Hey, did you go to the sex cult club? Okay, yes, we did. Okay, good. You slaughter the babies and cook their brains. Yes, okay, we did. So anyway, that's all that. This was reality somehow. And I keep hoping they'll go away, but they always show up when I play video games. They always show up to torture me. I keep hoping they'll stop. I'm like, I got no problem. I'll shut my mouth. I don't see any crimes. You guys go be good people, that's good. But they keep doing evil shit. They keep doing really malicious evil stuff. So anyway, that's your government. That's how things work. That's the special club of, we faked the school shooting, now we're going on permanent vacation. We've got trillions of dollars. These people do whatever we tell them. We've made their babies too dumb to think. We've made them too dumb to think, so they'll never say anything. And that's reality. At least for today. So yeah, fun.